So I think you ought to get a Grammy for when I first saw you, which was at the Kennedy
Ah,
Center Honors. And it was very simple. You were singing the national anthem with the Marine Corps band backing you up, which had to be pretty cool, I would think. And
very
you're
cool.
now you're singing in front of the president and the first lady, and a whole host of other, really, really famous people.
Yeah.
Was that
A-listers.
that was way different from doing an opera, right?
Oh, that was way different. I was so nervous. Oh my gosh. I don't usually get so nervous. And I was like, there's President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. But I remember just thinking, I'm here for a reason, this is my moment. And so it was exhilarating. And I said, I'm going to channel this nervous energy and just bring down
Felt
the
it out.
house.
You did.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
wonderful.
Thank you. It was really just such an honor, to sing on that stage with the band and
I have to tell you, I sat next to that woman at dinner last night, and she's like a perfectly normal, wonderful person, and man, she just killed this thing. So that was great. That was fun to watch.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really fun. I hope it won't be the last. So
We're talking a lot about some of the operas, it started in Italy, a lot of them are in French and German. And so shifting forward and trying to connect with modern audiences, what kind of contemporary messages can opera communicate to modern audiences? Because a lot of it's 1700s, 1800s, even early 1900s. But you mentioned you were doing some modern opera as well. So do you think that can attract more young people to the art? Or
absolutely, yeah.
see
I
that?
mean, yes, I've been singing a lot of modern or new opera, and I already witness, the audiences that come are younger, are more diverse in every way, and so I think when people um, hear their stories and feel seen, they come out, and so there's so many amazing stories, especially American stories that we don't know about, and um, I'm excited because we're in a time where these stories are being told more, and yeah, I think it's gonna continue to expand opera because there's this thing that people say, like, opera's dying and it's not gonna last, but it's not true. I don't believe that, first of all, because the art form is so beautiful. I feel like with the traditional pieces as we know them, they're just so gorgeous and timeless. And then when you add on the new stories and the new composers and the new conductors and the new singers, it just is only gonna expand, in my opinion. So that's one of my biggest goals, um, and something that really kinda inspires and motivates me is to collaborate with, um, new artists and new stories, I think it's a really exciting time for that. So, I wanna do it all.
So, I would imagine, classical opera is a very, very tradition-bound genre where it's so cool and so impressive and so old that it kind of has to be done. You talked earlier about freedom at a box, but with some of these newer pieces, and even with some of the older pieces, do you find that you're able to stretch the art a little bit, particularly with the newer ones, where you can inject your own style even more forcefully?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
are you tempted to do other, maybe outside opera a
Genres?
little bit? Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the cool thing about working with living composers and a bit younger composers, I'll say, is that I am creating with them. So they'll send me something and I'll be like, this is cool, but what do you think about this idea? And usually they're open to it. So really, like creating something just a little bit different. And for me, I'm really into cross genre collaboration. There are artists outside of opera that I really want to work with. I love Coldplay. I love Chris Martin. And I'm like, Chris, let's do something. So I have these
That would be fun.
yeah, I have these desires to, combine, hip hop and opera or rock and opera and kind of like what Beyonce's doing. I mean, she's, doing like country and I just think that there is a way to do it. Of course there are opera purists that they don't consider it opera, but that's fine. I mean, I think that um there's just space for it all. It doesn't mean that the traditional opera has to go away. There's just room for it all. And I'm really excited about just expanding outside of opera, especially because I grew up on classical music. So why not bring all of me into it? So I'm definitely delving into that more for sure.